Alrighty, y'all. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to the Old Star Wars Fans Podcast. Now, today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite characters, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, I'm old enough to remember when he was introduced in the books. He was everything Vader should have been, but couldn't be. And I don't know if that just made Palpatine see him a little bit different, because everyone knows Palpatine was disgustingly xenophobic. But the fact that here's someone who actually fought in the Clone Wars. He fought alongside Anakin Skywalker and had his suspicions as to, was Vader Anakin? They moved similarly. They thought similarly. They even went about things in at least from a military standpoint, a lot of the same way. But honestly, I think the reason why Thrawn was able to survive and even thrive in Palpatine's empire was because Palpatine saw him almost like a curiosity, a rarity. It was almost like giving someone enough rope to hang themselves. Palpatine wanted full control. He wanted control over life and death. That's how he got Vader. That's how he kept the Empire in line. Fear was what secured Palpatine's domination. But if you looked at Thrawn wasn't that way. Thrawn would learn whatever he could from anybody he could, whether from the Rebel Alliance, whether from a group he was sent to fight. I mean, we saw in Star Wars Rebels where they went to Hera's home planet, and Thrawn knew almost as much, if not more, about Hera's culture than Hera did. Which I thought was really interesting. Here's an operator, a commander, an admiral, who wasn't, shall we say, an armchair admiral. He would get in the thick of it. He would be in the middle of fights. And if he had any faults, it would be that he gave his people a bit too much leniency. They were able to think for themselves. And in the Empire, well, the Empire didn't like that at all. The Empire wanted, or the Emperor wanted, full control over everything. But quite the opposite, Thrawn expected his people to think for themselves, and even sought opinions and strategic tactics from other people. And I think that's what made Palpatine curious. Number one, to see if Thrawn could actually do it. But number two, to see how far it would last. To Palpatine, it almost seemed like a train crash about to happen. It was that kind of curiosity. It was more morbid than anything. Now, of course, as we've seen, Palpatine doesn't have friends. He has tools. So the fact that, Grand Admiral Thrawn not only won many victories, but learned from his mistakes. In a way, surprised, and one could even go so far as to say almost scared Palpatine, because Vader didn't learn from his mistakes a lot of the time. But what do y'all think about Grand Admiral Thrawn? Do y'all like him? Do y'all think he's interesting? I mean, he's about to be live action now. The guy who voiced him in Star Wars Rebels is going to voice him or is actually going to be him in the Ahsoka series. And I'm not going to lie, whenever Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano asked for Thrawn, my inner kid giggled immensely. Thrawn has always been one of my favorite villains. Because he's not a villain for villain's sake. Everything he does, every victory, every learning experience, is really just to save his people from the Empire. It has nothing to do with, ideology. He knows that the moment he messes up, well, that's it. The Empire's coming for his people. So let me know what y'all think in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Daniel. I am that old Star Wars fan. And y'all, legends, well, they're just better.